Danny Segura for MMAJunkie.com, and today I'm joined by Clay Collar, the boxing sensation and PFL lightweight. First of all, Clay, how are you doing, and how's life been? These last few months.
I'm doing very well, and life's been good. Just training hard and getting ready to fight. So
Yeah, for sure. So last time you competed was in December. That was boxing. It's been a minute since we've seen you in the cage as far as MMA is concerned. I'm guessing now that you're gearing up for this PFL lightweight tournament in April, you're already starting to train MMA, right?
yeah, so I never stopped doing mixed martial arts. So even
Okay.
though I'm boxing this whole year and all that, I've never stopped training. So yeah, we've been at it. We're staying at it. So.
Okay, that's interesting. So like this whole time that you've been boxing, like I guess how much boxing do you do, and then how much MMA do you do while you're out there competing in boxing?
I'm honestly, man, it's like we'll have one boxing day a week
Okay.
where we'll box a little bit. That's about it. Everything else is geared toward mixed martial arts because I'm a mixed martial artist. So I'm just tough as hell and got hands, man. So it doesn't matter. I'll get in there and box or do MMA or whatever, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's pretty crazy that you mentioned it. Usually, like the striking is pretty distinct as far as the training, or at least from what I've heard from other fighters and stuff. But you've kind of been keeping things the same, even competing in two different sports, from what I gather here.
Yeah, yeah, man. Just me and my coach, we have our week planned out and what we have different workouts each day. Coach always tries to mix it up and make it fun. So, so we stay interested and yeah, man, it's just, I've never stopped training mixed martial arts because I knew I had PFL coming up and I knew I was coming back to mixed martial arts. So I've just stayed at it.
Yeah, for sure. And this is my first time interviewing you, so I know you've probably answered this a million times before, but I'm curious. After your career with the UFC, that's kind of where we saw you pick up boxing. Why did you decide to venture down the boxing world?
There was a handful of different reasons. One, my coach thought it would make me a better mixed martial artist. Um, he believes, and I believe that boxers are the best strikers in the world. So he wanted me to get in with the best strikers in the world, so I could better my hands, and so that's what we did. That was one reason. Other reasons is after getting cut from the UFC, it was hard finding good fights. Either they wanted me to fight somebody really good for no money, or somebody that just wasn't worth my time. So that was a little frustrating there. So yeah, there was a handful of reasons we went over to boxing, but there's a couple for you right there, man.
Okay. And did you expect your boxing career to take off the way it did? Because in 2020, I mean, you were dominating the headlines, not only in the MMA world, obviously, because we care about you over here, but also in the boxing world, and you were killing it that year.
Yeah, I've been boxing and training and fighting since I was 6 years old. So yeah, I know it felt good to finally get a little bit of recognition for what I've been working my whole life for. So.
Yeah. And I know you were saying, like, obviously you're an MMA fighter first, but how much love did you get for boxing? Is it like now up to par with the MMA world, or are you still solely focused and MMA is your passion?
Man, I love boxing. I've always loved boxing ever since I was a kid, man. I I'm a pretty good boxer, but I'm a really good MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing, you can run from me, and you can, like I like to engage the fight. I like to press the action. I like to stay in your face the whole time. And these boxers, they can dance around and run around, and I can't grab a hold of them. You know what I'm saying? I can't grab them and elbow them or knee them, So it's a little frustrating to me sometimes. If a guy wants to stand in the pocket and throw with me, that's where I'm the best. I believe so. Um, but boxers are too smart for that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, this guy's beat me up. I'm gonna run and stick and move and dance and so it's a little frustrating when guys do that in boxing because I don't have those other tools to be able to grab them or slam them down or hold them or knee them or whatever. So it's a little more frustrating to me, and I think that's why I like mixed martial arts a little more. So.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, your first love, that's MMA. But what are some things? Because you always hear the comparison between MMA and boxing. What are some things not only maybe from an actual sporting side, but like maybe how things run? What are some things that you like about the boxing world that you wish maybe the MMA world had?
I mean, the two worlds are very, very similar. Um, it's hard to say, because I fought on all kinds of different shows. I fought on the biggest shows in the UFC and the biggest shows in boxing, and they both run very well. They're very professional. I've also fought on a bunch of rinky-dink shows out in the middle of nowhere, out in small towns somewhere here and there, and so I just have an extreme love for combat sports, no matter what it may be, and yeah, I mean, I can't really pick differences between the two because they are so similar. Other than the fact that I like wrestling, you know what I'm saying? Um, I like using my wrestling to set up my strikes. I like using my clinch to set up my strikes, and in boxing, I don't get to do that as much. So I think that's what edges me over to the mixed martial arts side. So.
For sure. And now speaking about MMA and this PFL tournament that resumes here or starts actually in April, have you checked out some of the names that have been thrown out at the lightweight season? Because it's looking pretty stacked, man. I gotta say.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good season. We got Anthony Pettis coming in there. I mean, that's all Mr. Showtime. So that's gonna be exciting. Me and Johnny Case trained together in Vegas a little bit, so I'm excited. If we get matched up, I consider him somewhat of a friend. So I've never actually got in and fought somebody that I've trained with before. I know a lot of other fighters have, and it does happen. So I'm excited to do that if it plays out like that. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm the most exciting name on there. So.
Certainly, you're definitely up there. But let me ask you this, and please don't be humble. I know you're gonna answer truthfully here on MMA Junkie, but are you the best striker in the PFL lightweight season? I mean, you got some solid names there, but you got that boxing pedigree, and as I said, you've been killing it in the boxing world.
I think I'm one of the best strikers in the world, man. I really do. I've been boxing since I was a young kid, and I've never stopped training and ever. So if I'm not pretty good by now, then I might as well just quit. So no, I'm excited, man. I do believe I'm one of the better strikers in the division. Yes. I guess we'll soon find out.
Certainly will. And look, I wanted to ask you this because you're a bit of a hybrid, obviously MMA fighter, but you've crossed over to the boxing world. I don't know how much attention you've been paying to this, but we are getting a bit of a crossover fight. Maybe Jake Paul is fighting Ben Askren. A lot going on here.
About it, bro.
Don't want to talk about it.
It's embarrassing to me, bro.
Okay.
That's stupid to me.
That's what I was going to ask you.
The Jake Paul and the whole. He doesn't box boxers. It's all fake to me, man. They're not fighters, man. Like, shame on Ben Askren for taking the fight, man. I mean, he's not. And Ben Askren might get beat up because the guy don't know how to box at all. So I don't know, man. It's just embarrassing to me, bro. Jake Paul should not be in combat sports. Go back to making YouTube videos, bro.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about because Teofimo Lopez was like, this is a disgrace. You see a lot of people also from the MMA world saying the same thing.
I said it back when they very first started fighting, bro. It's I mean, people have been working their entire lives to get on those big shows and get opportunities like that. And just because this guy has a little bit of a following, he just gets tossed in there and gets to fight on these shows and fight these guys. And I just think it's embarrassing for the sport. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, a lot of people definitely feel the same way. We'll see what happens when those two show down. But we do know with you, we have a great representative of MMA in the boxing world and vice versa. Thank you so much for taking time for this, and best of luck in this upcoming PFL tournament in April.
thanks, man. I hope you have a great day.